welcome back, everyone. Uh, if you are, confused, this is the second night in a row that I am streaming. No, you are not having deja vu. Well, I guess sort of. The it just so turns out that I guess I was able to put the baby down and thus have another free-ish night. So hopefully we can actually do this pretty often going forward. Now, obviously, the schedule can change at a moment's notice, but as of right now, I think we're getting into a little bit of a nice pattern. As for the deck, nothing too exciting, especially if you caught last night's stream. Um, I think the big things I went over was like why no Savannah. Obviously, shout out to the legendary Kithkin himself, Gaddock Teeg, who is kind of really good right now, even though he shuts off some of our deck. But um, I do think he is well positioned. I actually added him because of uh, creative technique, but the band of Mind's Desire actually has a lot of people playing Storm again, which is good. I actually like that, but raises his value in the deck, right? Not to mention he has applications as Control and Mystic Forge as well. Um, the numbers for the cards in the deck are pretty straightforward. I think the only like odd card per se is the Go for the Throat. That's just a universal answer that I think maps pretty well. Is the reason why I'm playing it. You can play whatever you want for the fifth removal spell, but I think I like it for now. I haven't actually cast it yet, but I like it in theory. I don't want to take up too much time. I guess we can just go ahead and start. All right. We're playing against Billy Mitchell. All right. He says don't judge him for this, so I don't know what that's supposed to mean, but we'll see. As usual, I'm just gonna fetch Bayou into once into a noble. Mm, does that change anything? I'm a little bit nervous that he says don't judge him for it, but I think in the dark, I probably would take the Noble Hierarch, and I'll just run it out. I'm gonna play as if I don't know what he's on. I actually don't know what he's on. So we'll see. I think our line here is like pretty straightforward. We're gonna go Shepherd into Noble into Fiend Artisan. And then pass. I wonder if it's like Cascade when we get feared or not. That would be kind of gross. I mean, the way we're playing it out, it's a telegraphed natural order from our opponent's perspective. So if they do have counter magic, they probably go after Shepherd. If they don't have counter magic or they don't have removal, well, the Fiend Artisans are pretty scary too. So we don't know what our opponent's on. He is 0-2, so maybe some kind of combo deck. Who knows? Hmm. Oh wow. Okay, I did not expect that. I was expecting a show and tell right now. Okay. I'm trying to think what he could possibly have. I don't think he has an endurance. And even if he did, I don't think that does anything. Let's just, I guess, go ahead and cast the endurance. And then I'm just gonna natural order pitching the. I mean, I don't think there's an out, but I never say never, I guess. All right. I guess against food chain. I don't even know I have that mapped in my sideboard map. I might have just removed it because I haven't faced it enough. Yeah, I did remove it. All right, we'll just do it from scratch here. I think we want the Force of Vigors. Pithing Needle notably doesn't work because it's a mana ability. I don't think Endurance has text in this matchup. Snuff Out, probably good. I suspect he probably has Dorks. Um, we saw Trop, which means that the Shepherds could be relevant. I don't think we want Bog, although the Uro is like a thing. Do we want Seas? I guess is the big question. I don't think we want Collector Oof. I think given that this is like a pseudo combo matchup, probably not a Gris. I think we probably, in all likelihood, probably do want Seas. And it's a little bit awkward because I want to keep the snuff outs too. But at the same time, I don't want to like overboard, right? It's like not too common that I have both Seas and snuff out coming in at the same time. The snuff out could be bad for that sword. I feel like they probably have a dork, but I'm not, especially the play patterns associated with food chain. I guess we can find out. All right, let's board out the. Oops. Let's do it like this and see how it works out. I could be just all over the place. The creature count went down a lot based on how I boarded. I don't love the hoof, but actually it's a decent attract to turn 3, right? With snuff out, like what is going on here? What in the world? Okay. Definitely didn't expect that. Hey Harry, thank you for the subscription. Shout out to Harry, who's been crushing it, by the way. Not this past weekend. I don't even know if Harry played this past weekend, but the 2 weekends before that with consecutive top eights with Abzan Maverick. So shout out to Harry. This is awkward. I think I misboarded. I think now that we've seen a little bit more of Billy's deck, I don't think I want Snuff Out. I assumed that he might have had Dorks, but that doesn't look like to be the case. Maybe if I see Trop, that should have been a tell that it's not Dork. Oh, okay. Definitely awkward for sure. We're locked out of Green Sun for one as well now. The good thing is we could just attract some. That would be kind of neat. Now, if they have force, then all bets are off, but. Oof, okay. I think we actually are. I think we're priced into allowing that to resolve. Oh my god, why? Alright. That line is now out the window. Actually, I shouldn't have revealed that. Maybe they forced it. They actually have to force the next short regardless. I think we're probably just dead, to be honest. It's very awkward for sure. Sure. Hmm. It's pretty good. It was pretty good. I actually think we're like stone dead here with the ballista now. Granted, we like completely botched the boarding, but maybe that's something to work on. Like in the dark, when you don't know what your opponent is playing. I mean, we knew it was food chain. We didn't think it was with the stompy shell, but could work on the adaptation. We're going to see one. We're going to five. Actually, four. I think we're just dead, to be honest, right? Like we're at one virtually. I don't think there's an out. Yep. All right. We're gonna completely redo how we sideboarded here. That was a disaster. Um, I don't think we want C's anymore, based on what we saw. Uh, the oops, wrong one. The veil gets not veil. The shepherd gets a lot better. The needle. I mean, like it could shut off ballista, but I don't know. Like I think we want the collector. Oof. I don't know if we want the needle. We're at 58 cards, and I think Grist could be worth bringing in now, given that we saw the Minzimbu. If Needle conveniently answer, it's get hits by Chalice, but it does answer the mints. Like, do we care? I guess. I don't really want to have one drops when they're a Chalice deck. Oh, thank you. Yeah. I feel like this is the call, and we don't want to like give targets for their. They're three card combo at the end of the day too. I don't think we want to give them value by naming something like the uh, the ballista. It does name Mince and Boo for whatever that's worth. Maybe that's better than Gris. I don't actually think Bowmasters does anything against them now. Actually, now that I think about it, so it might be better than that because they don't have cantrips, right? Oh, yeah, I actually like that. Let's go with that. Sure. They are likely a Fury deck too, so that's something to watch out for. If I go Needle right now, what am I doing in the dark? I don't think I do anything in the dark. I just bash right with the hierarch. It could be a bolt here. And actually, I doubt it. Not with Chalice in her deck. Sure. We do have a kill now. I don't know what you could possibly have, but like this is like two ships passing the night now. Um, I feel like Billy's gonna tell me after the fact, either DM or maybe if he comes to the Twitch, that the deck was like misbuilt or something. Definitely caught me off by the card. I didn't expect the chalices, that's for sure. Like game two. Let me bring up the deck list. It's the same list we played last night. We didn't draw the go for the throw, but I felt like the list felt really good. The loss was game one, match one last night, and that was probably user error more than anything else. Hey, High Star. I get this question a lot about why don't I play Baseju. The long there's like a long answer, and the short answer. The short answer is I don't think you need it, and I think it makes the mana worse. For in my opinion, the gain is not much. Like I don't think there's anything it hits or that I'm afraid of that it hits at the moment. Like people always say merit lage, but I've been keeping track of this for like 9 months ever since I cut Baseju, and in that time, no depth player has ever given me the chance to Baseju their land. Like that, only an inexperienced player would let that happen. Or if they have no other choice, that's the alternative. Right? If the game went long, like I just don't know what depth player is losing to Baseju. Uh, the other thing is like cage, right? But then you have to have it naturally in hand, and I don't. I just value really good mana, and that's the reason why. That's the short reason why I don't run Baseju. Not to mention, I think 2 mana removal spell plus give them a land, aka Baseju, Baseju and Assassin's Trophy is not playable in 2023 Legacy. Unless your name is Chase Hansen. Rafina. We have a Bog and a Once. So, assuming this hits, the rest of the hand is like good against Reanimator, I guess. Um, the Bog is like kind of suspect. So I would have to hit land in one of the next 2 turns for this land to hand to be functional. But it's like decent if I do hit a land though. Let's try for science. It's not the end of the Bog helps cast Green Sun and Phoenix, so it's not the end of the world, I guess. Chalice, Sure. Oh my god. That's gonna be endurance pitch now. Would have loved to take the cradle, but can't. I think to play it safe here, we better fetch basic. I don't know. Could be. And if it is one ring pile, that green sun's looking real good. Hey, Straz Daddy. Hope your stream went well earlier. I only caught like not even a match, like one game. Warrior. What is a warrior? Interesting. That's the best, right? Hopefully you learn something too, right? Like the ideal scenario is like play poorly, learn something, still win decently, right? Mm, so I think they're on Moon Stompy. Uh, there's a chance we get like Furied here, but I think we have to take the risk. I don't think we. Okay, so if they Fury us here, it's gonna be a 2 for 2. I don't think we run the Green Sun unnecessarily out right now. We're gonna trade our endurance with the Rabble Master. Like that's like a fine trade for me, I think. What is going on? Oh my god, that thing's a disaster. Okay. I'm probably gonna lose now. Like, I don't think we can beat that card. I do not think we can beat that card. Yikes. Did they just miss? Interesting. Oh my god, that is a really good hit. Yeah. Well, I just think this is probably a really bad matchup. I had to have drawn the snuff out, which is only a 2 of anyways, right? They could have theoretically 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 speaking, they could have had Magus too. So it's not like a guaranteed, right? We're probably in major trouble. What makes them indestructible? I don't even know. Oh, okay. The human is indestructible, sure. We'll trade with a Rabble Master and take like a million right now. The funny thing is, I think whatever is lethal if we draw a natural order. Nope. Uh, duh, duh, duh. It's like really awkward. We're 1 mana short for. Well, actually, maybe not. Let's bash. I don't think we're gonna be able to stabilize, but we'll see. Just realized this camera is like too far over. See how they attack. Alright, both to face. What does the winning line look like for us here? We block the caves. Like, does that do anything? They get the thing back. I think a winning line involves us not taking out the caves and keeping our creature. If I were them, I'd probably go the thing to Gris, right? The smaller creature. Uh, that's okay. No, we're just dead. Didn't matter. If I were to guess, this is probably a very bad matchup. Cause they're like they have like the initiative shell, but they're like a very combo-y version. Um, I think this is one of those matches where we accept losing to Magus. Uh, and we just want like all the removal. Um, man, I don't even like. Maybe we get lucky with the Force. We'll have Tex in this matchup. I suspect probably not. Um, the Gris is probably suspect in this matchup right now too. Like I think we need creatures on board and like endurance feels too slow to me. Like I normally like endurance against Moonstompy, but not when they're just gonna try to combo us, so to speak, right? Um, I think like Gris is the one I'm debating about. Like it's I feel like it's slow. So yeah, I think we want to go low to the ground, accept losing to Fury. Okay, that's we have the best card in the hand right now, so I'm gonna keep. If they get us with Magus, so be it. If they get us with Magus, so be it. I don't think. Well, the good thing is we have the Reclaimer too, so that can fix if they Magus us. I don't really expect to play against this, but you know, people are trying a lot of things right now. That's actually a pretty good draw. Oops. Uh-oh. Magus? Dungeoneer? Sure, that's okay with me. I don't get the joke, Joey. What does Mind's Design have to do with this? Okay. Unfortunate. We're gonna bash here. We're gonna go cradle into end step once upon a time. Snowbound is just incredible in these kind of like temple mirrors. They want to mag us if they can. Now that we're ahead. Sure. Yeah, it's really quite popular. How good it is debatable. But yeah, it's quite popular. But I think that's to nobody's surprise, to be honest. It's a card that, quite frankly, I don't think anybody thought was going to be unbanned. I was certainly, it was a welcome surprise for me. Do we care about any of these two cards? The Reclaimer is like decent, I guess. Definitely bottom the Shepherd. I think this is probably decent. I think we get that and pass. Yeah, that's fair, Mark. Also, the how does Maverick fare against that creative technique? Actually, with Wasteland, it's probably not a bad matchup, right? I don't want to see that. How do they? Can't punish their mana base either. We're probably just gonna lose here. We're gonna pray they whiff, right? Yeah, sure. It's quite annoying. Yeah, for sure. Wasteland is very nice. I added Teeg, so I know about that. So it sounds like the Maverick player's favorite, right? You need a clock. That's what you really need. Like whether that be a lock or a kill. So I agree with Connor on that. Not necessarily a lock, but a kill, a fast kill is good too. But some sort of clock. All right, that's. How do I want to proceed now? This being a 4/4 is actually quite annoying. I think we have a lethal next turn, so or potentially have lethal next turn if I'm doing this correctly. Sure. I actually sort of regret not getting the I sort of regret not getting the arbor off the fetch now. Like I might just would be one short on mana. Actually, no, I have lethal. That's what am I doing? I counter right. This is like two ships just passing in the middle of the night, right? So that worked out pretty well. Yeah, so it sounds like with Maverick between Teague and Wasteland, that's like a pretty decent clock, right? But yeah, I agree. Like Wasteland by itself is probably not enough. You need. Okay, I'm glad that was on stream earlier. That's pretty funny. I think we boarded correctly. It sounds like we just want to go over the top, right? Like, if they cheese us, they cheese us. We have some defensive mechanism for their Winota like cheese lines, but oof, do I want? I don't even know if they have like Chromox. Maybe they do, maybe they don't. But I don't think I can just like mold to snuff out. That doesn't, I don't think that's like a winning line. Or mold to natural order. This is on the slower side. Alright, their deck is just inconsistent, right? I love to see it. Thank you for the follow, Nebelt. I didn't get that. So here, if they like Chromox, I'm just gonna like force a vigor right here. Yeah, I haven't had the displeasure of running against that creative technique deck yet. I imagine it's probably a miserable experience. All right, we didn't even keep a good hand, but their deck is inconsistent. So finally, one game where it just doesn't work out. All right, 2-0. I'm gonna take a quick break. I'm gonna put my deck up again. It sounded wrong, but um, no changes from yesterday. I think it's like the list is pretty good, but I gotta use the restroom real quick and be back. It is. That's okay. It's in the mirror. Huh? It's in the mirror. Yeah. Is that what you're asking? But I just remembered that you changed it. No, it's okay. Yeah, Canonist is really good. I consider playing it myself before all this creative techniques stuff. Teeg is good because it's found off every tutor in her deck, notably Greensun, which is the faster tutor. Um, I think yeah, Prison Stompy and like the lock decks like Prison Stompy and Lands have very good matchups against it, from what I understand. I think the big takeaway from that match right now or game was I get a lot of questions. Oh, why are you on Force Snuff Out? That's the reason why we're on Force Snuff Out. Like, I think if that Snuff Out had been a dismember, which some people like to play because they're scared of Magus or Opposition Agent. Ooh, too bad we paired into Harry here. I think we lose that game. Um, Curves out at least. All right, so good luck to Harry. We'll see how this goes. Harry is I'm his 5-0 match. He's according to MTG bot 4-0 here. Ooh, Mox Diamond. That's not what I want to see. So as a general rule of thumb, people ask me like, what is this deck weak to? Um, I guess if we want to generalize it, it's essentially any deck trying to either A, cheese us out or cheat on mana. And one way to do that would be the Mox Diamond, right? Like, I don't want to be like behind on tempo at turn one. Ugh. So it looks like Harry is on lands. Yes, yes. Which is actually a very hard matchup for us, especially with that start. I think we might have already lost game one. Um, yeah, the hard matchups tend to be anything that spews out their hand turn one. Lands kind of does that. Like, um, Moon Stompy is probably a slightly unfavorable matchup. Lands is a hard matchup, and then anything like Oops All Spells as well. Although that's like winnable post board because it's weak to Graveyard Heat, right? Um, I don't think we're supposed to do anything here. Welcome, Fish Duggery, by the way. Actually, what am I doing? I was supposed to ramp. Like, brain farted through that. Alright, that's. I got distracted for a second. So this might have just like cost me the game here. Just not ramping when I'm supposed to. Because I'm short mana now, right? Like I essentially time walked myself by clicking through the previous turn. It doesn't look great for us anyways, for what it's worth. My lapse in concentration there probably gonna cost me. So yeah, I should have gone an Arbor the previous turn. Obviously, Harry could waste us and it would have mattered. I don't know his hand, but definitely, if Harry did not have the waste, then I like time walk myself because I would have been opening turn three with 4 mana and Collector Oof would be like a reasonable get. Yeah. We can get collector oof now, but like we're under a lot of pressure. Okay, if we had done it correctly, we would have had the collector oof plus the thing right now. So we would have extra creature, but we'd be still staring down these two. We could chump block for a turn and maybe kill the next turn. That's like the difference. Yeah. Also, not be a tabernacle here. Yeah, to lock up our mana. All right. So we can. Okay, that's kind of interesting. And then we'll pass. We can actually cast a snuff out and then not die, and then we have an out. I think we might have won if I had not like essentially slept through that. Oh, that's awkward. The Mox Diamond. Uh, yeah, I'm just thinking back to that turn. Probably cost myself by not ramping early. It would have shut off Harry's colored mana too. So pretty unfortunate mistake on my behalf. I'll call it the stream tax, right? Thank you for the stream, the raid, Freaky Nasty. Hopefully, you had a good league and stream there. Crucible, sure. Welcome everyone. Uh, I did not pay attention turn two and like time walk myself. This is like getting interesting now. Play that, I guess, and then there's no. Is there a wasteland? No. But yeah, I didn't do anything turn two and like cost myself probably the game. Waste. Okay. I think we might be drawing. Well, a natural order here is still not enough. Sure. Okay, we're gonna get wasted. Now we're out of the game. He should take out the arbor. Oh, taking that out? Interesting. Oh, we're dead. That was a bad game by me. I think the game plays out a lot differently if I didn't time walk myself. With that said, I think we can adjust for game two and see how it goes. Shepard doesn't do anything. I think this is how I like it post board. I think this matchup is actually a lot better than it used to be. And that's because we just have like more relevant cards now. Not to mention, lands will try to prevent you from going wide, and I think we're a lot better at going tall now compared to the past. But yeah, everybody from welcome everyone from Freaky Nasty's stream. Hopefully it went well. I mentioned earlier to my viewers that knock on wood, if everything's going right, and it seems like the last two nights it has, maybe I can stream pretty regularly now. Uh, Given that if everything goes right, the baby cooperates, then it'll be like a late night stream potentially going forward. Keep here are my socials again for everybody curious. Exploration. I think I'm debating whether to hit. I feel like we have to. Actually, what am I? That's a bad play. I could have just waited. Like, and I really should have waited now. I was gonna say I can just do that on upkeep. I don't know why I spaced out there. Hey Romaro, you can watch as I fumble my way through this match right now. I'm playing really poorly this match. I deserve to lose. Sure. No, no, it's I like clicked through something game one, and then like I just like a major brain fart right now too. And the ultimate punish too, because I drew the Atraxa. I think the matchup is actually, like I mentioned, better than before, but not if I'm playing like this. Hierarchs are incredible in this matchup because they. No, it's not the least bit fun. The game plan, from what I realized, is we are supposed to just continue to make more and more hierarchs, and then just like bash for that, like really increases the clock. But if they have Saga, then that changes everything as well. Maybe actually, I take that back. I should probably get Reclaimer there and just like unlock my Cradle. Okay, we're probably just dead now. It didn't matter. Both sides fought hard. Is the meme. For what it's worth, I don't think it would have mattered because even at my green sun, I could have got the Cradle out turn early. Well, now I get that's the punish though, right? We actually drew the Cradle. We have a Merit Lade coming on the other side. We can't get a Traxa, so I think we're supposed to just natural order for endurance. Just to buy a turn. I think we are drawing dead though. Because even if we block, like there's no way for us to have lethal now because yeah, this game is over. We needed another creature on board, and then natural orders it out. But I also apologize because I just played like you know what this game. Not this game. This match. This game was actually at the fart at the beginning of the. All right, that is over. Played really poorly though. Yeah, if Attraction was still in the deck, then but it's okay. Let's not try to do what I did there and just like play horribly. The game one was worse. The game two, yeah, I messed up with that Force of Vigor because I got too antsy. But in the grand scheme of things, I don't know if it changes really anything. Well, actually, it would have be. Well, no, I drew that track, so it would have mattered. Actually, let's see when we drew the Atraxa, if it would have mattered. All right, here, the mistake here is turn one exploration. I should have just waited for the upkeep, right? Like it's free. Oh, okay. So I drew the Atraxa. I would have the green sun still, so it would have mattered. I could green sun for reclaimer instead, so that would have been the line. And then tabernacle hits. That's the problem. I tap two. I get a cradle here. I don't think that changes much. Let's get the saga creature, and then I'm forced to. Yeah, I don't think it would have changed anything. Shout out to Harry for the 5-0, by the way. Friend of the big friend of the stream. Um, but game one is a colossal brain fart on turn two, but not by not doing anything. Essentially skipping through my turn on turn two. But I don't think game two would have mattered. Game one, obviously, that would have changed things, but it is what it is. It's all good, Harry. It was my fault. I had a brain fart in game one where I just like clicked through my turn two. Uh, and then game two, I like didn't play. I had a misplay, but I don't think it changed anything. No, that's good. I'm glad to see it. No, congrats on the 5-0, Harry. Yo, Harry's running hot for sure. This person usually plays like these Yorion ephemerate piles. This is actually probably not the hand against them. What the heck is going on? Okay, interesting. I did not expect that. Mm, okay, what do I want? Yeah, let's just play this out. I don't think it changes. I'm not gonna fetch the Bayou in case they have like Wasteland or something crazy. Well, I guess I have to, right? Oh yeah, so I didn't catch that, but Harry, if you paid one for the Merit Lage, you don't need to because it has indestructible. Sure. All right, we're gonna go Artisan right now. Just run it out, the Naked Artisan. Obviously, there was some consideration to just like run my thing into Chalice. I guess it didn't matter because they have the card. Why will control decks regain meta share? Um, not disagreeing. I'm just trying to hear the logic here, right? Um, I think the line here is we have to kill this thing. Yeah, I think we have to kill it. It didn't crew it, which is interesting. I guess not worth it to them. Yeah, yeah, yeah. That's definitely Harry. That's something to remember. For those who don't know, Harry actually has tried our deck before as well. I think we played against him on stream. I could be wrong. I think this attack is free. So Eternal Magic. So what does Mind's Desire unbanning has to have to do with control decks, right? Like I'm trying to get. That's probably accurate. I don't think I disagree with your assessment. The what Harry's referring to, which if you watch my streams enough or play the deck, is basically the games always end up the same way, right? Like you either get an artisan and kill them or a national warrior and kill them. Like there isn't if you like. So what it does is what the deck tries to do is it tries to reduce the games to these known what's called win condition or win board states. And if you like to win different ways, that's it's probably not for you because the deck tends to win the same way every game, if that makes sense. Although how it gets there may be different. I think that's what Harry's referring to. I don't disagree with that statement. Um, I think what I want to do here is I have 4 mana. I think I want to unlock my Cradle pretty soon. Let's play this Reclaimer, and then we're gonna collect or oof them pretty soon because I don't want them to like generate a million mana. Also fetching basics here because they're showing all basics on their side already. Mm, actually, Fable. Sorry, not Fable. Bowmasters is kind of interesting here too. Actually, let's just go with the collector oof. It's probably the safest. Yeah, I feel you there, Harry. I don't disagree with your assessment. Like usually consistency is a good thing, but not when you want variety in play, right? So I that's probably accurate what you're saying. Also, natural order is a card that like fixes all your mistakes. I call it the great eraser because no matter how many mistakes you've made earlier in the game, like natural order is the one card that gets you back no matter how far behind you are. Like sometimes you can just luck turn whatever it is, turn X natural order and just like attracts your way back into a game that was seemingly lost, right? I think the one card I'm not gonna. There's like one card we need to fake, and hopefully our opponent just doesn't have it. We get blown out by a certain card. I think everybody knows what it is. Our opponent's mana base is wild, by the way. It's insane to me that 3 basics out. They bash, sure, but I'm not gonna block. They, yep, that was what I was afraid of. That was what I was afraid of. Sure. Why is Yorion in there? Crazy deck building. Hmm. I think we want to get the Cradle online. I think they're gonna be able to cast Yorion. Like, I don't know how good it is, but they have it. They're gonna be able to reset a Fable if they want. I don't think they will, but kind of crazy, actually. I think getting the cradle online is more valuable than like trying to like trade with that goblin shaman. I don't think we care about Yorion, like quite frankly. Sure. I don't. I'm trying to see what they're resetting here. Sure. That's arguably worse, right? Hmm. Actually, I'm gonna sequence this correctly. I think I have to main phase everything here. I think we have to kill the Yorion. Um, the question here is like, what am I pitching? I think we pitched one of the reclaimers. I think we shuffle their library. I don't think it matters. Really wish I wasn't playing against this crazy deck. Kind of a buzzkill. Okay. Ouch. I can't believe I'm losing to this. I don't think we have any outs. I'll concede. All right. We're playing against essentially a moon stompy deck, so I'll just board accordingly here. What's scary is they showed all. What's scary is they showed all basics. Um, I don't know if they're running like K's the Chaos Adventurer. Their deck seemed a lot slower for whatever that's worth. I don't think we want Bowmasters. Doesn't do anything. Um, Now we have to cut something else. I probably don't need Crater Hoof either. I think we can try this and see what happens. The snuff out could be bad, but I guess we'll find out. Why did we draw this? I think we have the mole. Ugh. It's better, but I think we have to hope to get lucky, and the way that happens is hope to cash in on Gris. There is a non-zero chance we just get blown out by Fury, but I don't want to go to 5. And our hand is otherwise quite good. There's a chance we're supposed to. There's a non-zero zero chance we're supposed to pitch the Force of Vigor because we're down a card already. This turn is going to be interesting if we get Fury or not. Sure. Yep. No surprise. There's an argument to be made to not play the second Dork there, but given that we're missing land drops, I kind of want to pressure. Alright, that's unfortunate. I actually think what might have been right is to tutor for a tutor for ignoble hierarch. If I get a arbor here, I can tick down and still have the other one. I think we have to take this thing down. We're bluffing the block here when we actually have to snuff out backup. Awkward that we have the force in hand and can't hit their thing. we're essentially saving the snuff out. Sure. We drew pretty poorly too. I'm gonna snuff out their den of the bugbear here. Not great. We started 2-0. I like punted round three and probably gonna lose this match because I didn't play well, or not didn't play well, but like I don't know what their deck is doing, and I think we're all one league nights now, based on my personal life at the moment. I'm trying to think what a win looks like from this board state. I think our what a win looks like from this board state is we have to draw natural order. I think we have to follow Psi 404. I have to look at the match again. I don't know why I felt like we were so far behind. Maybe like combination of we did understand what their deck was doing, and just like poor draws too, right? Sure. Like I don't think Yorion is correct for what it's worth, but it's not gonna matter. We're we're dead on board. There's no out. Oops, cannot see. So pretty unfortunate. Let's take a look. I trying to see where things went south. Granted, we're losing to like a fringe deck, but it is what it is. Hey, glad to have you here. I think this is a fine keep. And then they went turn one chalice, right? Yeah, okay. That's fine. I think given that we fetch Bayou and we've that's fine. Not tonight, but Teeg was really good last night, Jeff. It it is really well positioned. That is an accurate statement. So last night I went 4-1 on stream. Tonight I started 2-0, and then I'm like drawing attacks every time now. But um, actually, what am I? Maybe it was correct there to. It's possible I'm supposed to get Gris and tick down. No, I feel like I'm thinking about it again. Like, what is the correct line here? I think it might have been correct to get actually get Bowmasters and for the extra body, and then set up for Grist the following turn, and have one turn shields down essentially. Granted, that allows them to hardcast Fury, and so we get the collective, which I think I was okay with at the time. I thought about blocking here just to like grow the Fiend Artisan. Yeah, so it might have been correct there. So if I block, double block there, it grows the Fiend Artisan because they probably take out the Reclaimer or something, and they probably like Fury the Shepherd plus the Well, if they collect Oof, then that's different. Yeah, I think that's where I misplayed. It would I don't know if it would have mattered, but I should have. The mistake was not playing around Fury that they probably telegraphed or likely had, and then they had a second one that was the killer. All right, let's go to game two. So getting punished for not playing as sharp there, but okay. So we mulled the. Okay, that's part of the problem. We had a seven that was not great. We mulled it. Um, we wanted to get the grist out here. We think they did nothing turn one. They likely have the fury. Maybe it's correct to just hold the second dork there and hope the top deck. The problem is if we don't, if we had the snuff out backup, so I think there's some merit to holding the dork. So we can stick the grist next turn, which we would have been able to. Instead, we lost the two. Instead, we lost the thing for no reason. The second dork. I think given that we had the snuff out, that changes the line. That there's nothing we could have done about, and I think that's what put us like too far behind now, right? I think the other mistake is keeping the force. I actually don't love force when they have these attrition based hands because we're just down a card. And then we forced the den of the bugbear here. So really, a few small mistakes cost us these two games here. That's nothing that we can do. Let's look at the third Fury. The second Fury is a Shatter Skull. At this point, we're too far behind. Yeah, no problem. I actually think it's really helpful to see where I made the mistakes. That way we don't make them in the future. Like everyone will misplay. It's just like the to me the thing is like you want to avoid your misplays. And I think the big mistake I made was, and unfortunately one that I've made before is I don't think it's correct to keep Force of Vigor after I mold. That's number one. Number two, I do think I should not have played that dork there because I had to snuff out backup. And then game one, obviously, like not blocking was the mistake. All right. So that I think I'm okay with that. Like we learned something out of this loss, right? Uh, our loss to lands here, I kind of like brain farted. They had turn one sphere, and then I like clicked through my turn two. Uh, the second game I would have lost anyways, but I think the first game it would have played out kind of differently. Right. I mean, it. Unfortunately, I have made that mistake before where I kept Force of Vigor on a low keep, but I think in this kind of like Moon Stompy, you kind of want these Hail Mary cards, and I think given that they have Fable, it's probably not correct. Okay, we're playing against lands again. Tim's a really good guy, by the way. It's kind of a rough league. I think it could be a 2-3 league. Tim is one of, if not, in my opinion, he's like a top three Lance player in the world. Obviously, the other two that come to mind, I think Jarvis and Ali Mulligan. All right, I'm gonna keep. I don't love it though. Put the snuff out back. Might have to wait till tomorrow, maybe. Actually, tomorrow I won't be streaming. That I know already. And the reason is my wife will be going to the Taylor Swift concert, so well, I wonder if I'm supposed to like endurance pitch there. I feel like the answer is probably not. Then well, I did. Okay, I'm like playing so poorly right now. Like I'm supposed to like once first because I know what's on the bottom. Just like not playing sharp right now. Like I am pretty hard on myself. Like I kind of pride myself on like really strong technical play, and unfortunately not the case at the moment. He did loam, which is interesting. I don't know what that means. Against land, you typically don't want to expose your guy's cradle. It's been getting better, Sager. Thanks for asking. This is interesting. I actually don't think I care about hitting the loam here. Thanks, Jeff. That did make me smile. I was trying to play a little bit sharper. I'm like a little bit on the iffy side at the moment from a technical play standpoint. Are they gonna needle me? I suspect not, but if they okay, so they needle the wooded foothills. Sure. Oh my god, that is brutal though. I shoot. All right. I should have fetched. I just. All right. That's a bad. That's a game losing mistake by me. It's endurance pitch time. We're gonna go to 4. I think Atrax is not even out because they have the Caracas. I'm trying to think. What do we do here? Oh my god. Okay, the Wasteland's gonna be bad here. That's pretty good too. Alright, we're dead. I do, for what it's worth, maybe I'm a masochist. I do enjoy this matchup because it's actually very skill testing. Even though I'm not playing particularly well at the moment, but this is one of my favorite matchups actually. Even though they're pretty, historically speaking, pretty favored, but maybe that's why I enjoy it because it's like a puzzle to try to figure out. The other ones that come to mind that I think are pretty skill testing. I tweeted about this, but the and one of them is gonna sound very strange, but I'll explain why. The other two matchups that come to mind are Doomsday and Miracles or slash Control. Control is probably obvious because you have to balance a tightrope of like how much to commit to the board and put pressure. I think that's like fairly straightforward why that's skill testing. The Doomsday matchup, I think people are going to be surprised because I think it's actually a pretty even matchup. Uh, I know Elves or has a bad reputation for not being beating combo. I think that doesn't really. A lot of these stereotypes don't really hold anymore in 2023 Legacy, and that's because of the like pitch elementals like endurance, right? And I think even though it's a combo matchup, I think I'm gonna keep this. The matchup is very skill testing because the and even though there's only like 2 to 3 turns typically in the matchup, there's a lot of ways to pile your deck from the Doomsday side, and based on that, there's a lot of counterplay on our side. Um, Most people don't realize this, but Snuff Out is actually a very relevant card in the matchup. And that's because of endurance. Like it's hard for our opponent, the Doomsday opponent, to beat endurance. Sorry, to play around endurance and beat Snuff Out at the same time. A lot of the lines that beat endurance do not beat does not beat Snuff Out, so that's the reason. The DNT or ACAST survive orcs? I think DNT is actually fine against orcs because let's shut off their map. I actually think DNT is fine against orcs, and the reasoning is because I think we have to get that. They it's kind of like us, right? They have like X ones, but they don't draw cards, so it's just like a removal spell, right? Granted, it's a little bit more costly because it's a 2 mana removing a 2 mana Thalia potentially, whereas Orcs is a 2 mana card removing a 1 mana card from us. So they're actually behind against us. We're gonna hit Reclaimer most likely, yeah. I think if we draw a land, we might be priced into Endurance. Okay, what to do here? I think the line actually is to just like ramp all the way. So here's what I mean by that. Oh yeah, I think 8 cast people say is like okay because they play like the patchwork construct now. DNT I think is fine. Like personally, I don't think they really care. The same way they probably care a little bit more than us because they have Thalia dying to it. But like us, we don't really care, right? Like if anything, it's actually kind of good for us Bowmasters because a lot of people leave it in because they just don't have enough cards. And while it's like very good on the play, if you have it and kill Archer one dork, we typically, because our deck is like land heavy, we can beat it most of the time, and that's not really an issue for the most part. I think it's gonna be a tabernacle here. Interesting. Might be a loam then. Sure, they're probably gonna hit the reclaimer then. Okay, I think we have to do it here. I actually also think we're just gonna play everything out. Yeah. The Hawks are actually kind of obscene in this matchup because your clock is so much faster. You can beat Tabernacle. Maze is good counterplay though. Wow, I did not expect to see that. I actually expect him to board that out because I actually don't think it's great against us. But maybe he's familiar enough with our deck. Hmm, that's kind of interesting. Um, we can't. Oh man, I boarded out the grist. That is awkward. For what it's worth, I did not expect to see that post board. So if we attack right now with the endurance, it'll be a 5/6, and that will kill. That will clear the thing. This is a force block. What to do? What to do? I'm trying to think. Do we? I don't. We don't care about the map because of the collector oof already. The maze is gonna be a problem. I think the line now is to get the reclaimer and try to set up a kill. This matchup is like extremely grindy, and maybe in the future, now that I know he boards in Minsambu, the problem is like Gris is so bad otherwise in this matchup. Sure. I, the maze is the problem here. I think we're gonna be a turn late. This could be reason to keep Gris in over the Bowmasters, by the way. Let's see what he does. I think where the likely scenario that's gonna happen here is the Mint's gonna pop the Boo, and then Tim's gonna draw the crowd rotation, uh, and then we're gonna get our board blasted from Blast Zone. I think that is the likeliest scenario here. But I think we need to play for a win, given that we don't have an like we didn't draw our pithing needle, so I think we need to hope that we can fade whatever Tim has here, and then we untap with an artisan and win. The maze is a problem. Sure. Ideally, he misses the line that he targets artisan, and then I pitch the arbor, and then the artisan lives. That is my hope here, that he doesn't see the line. Oof, that's kind of rough too. It's times like this where I wish I had the Sajiri step in my deck, right? So draw four. What's next? Sure. Man, all right. There, it's possible I misplayed too, and I should have kept the noble hierarch. Ugh, Jesus. It's possible I should have kept the noble hierarch as a pitch to force in case he targeted the oof. I didn't think he would, but I guess that makes sense. So if I didn't have this, that would have been one, two, three, four, five, six, seven. Uh, well, actually, sorry. One, two, three, four, five creatures. I have a cradle, but there's a tabernacle. Sorry, I did. There would have not been a tabernacle, right? Five, six, seven, eight, nine. I might have had lethals, so kind of brutal. Sure. I don't think we can win now, but I could be wrong. There's a waste. Actually, oh no, I'm just like autopiloting now. I'm trying to think what a winning line looks like from here, and I just don't think there is one. I'm gonna pack it in. Hey Mike, how's it going? That was kind of rough. Maybe I should not play when I'm a little bit tired. I did not play well there. Let me think about it. Maybe we can squeeze another match. That was kind of brutal. Even though I said only one league per night, right? DNT? It's basic planes. I don't think a control player would do that, but I could be wrong. I'm just gonna ramp. The line here is just like get Atraxa ASAP. Actually, to clarify something, that there's I see a lot of people, especially newer players. Is it better to make Dolly Manor less? Could have another Arbor? You mean instead of Noble, Mike? Well, we don't know. I think in general that you want to save your Green Sun as a demonic tutor. Um, like there was a tell that it was Dahlia, but I still think you want to I still think you want to you know have that represent any card in your deck or any creature in your deck in case it matters. But I get the logic, but I do think it's still better if that makes sense. So we're gonna still be able to natural order here. Um, Once upon a time, I guess the natural order, land, ignoble, and just like get ramped. I mean, they have to waste. It's a forced play, in my opinion. The cradle, especially since there was a natural order revealed off the Atraxa. Like that is in my opinion, a forced play. sure. Oh, I was saying, there's a misconception that Cradle Hoof is the number one target for the deck. That's actually not true anymore. I want to clear that up by the way, for anybody who's trying to pick up the deck. That's where I think people get into trouble. They think of the deck as a combo deck, and it's not really that anymore. Uh, Atraxa is the number one target for the deck now, and you're really just trying to prison your opponent out, so to speak, or drown them in card advantage, depending on the matchup. Um, this is too costly, I think. This is a green sun for 0, which is wrong. I think we want to go for 1. I'm gonna switch in case they, for some reason, have Plague Engineer to Noble here. I thought Baby woke up for a second. If if he did, it would have been the end of the stream. Cauldron. Okay, I think we probably have lethal here. They could technically have Solitude, but I don't think we're playing around that. It's still a lot of damage, even if they Solitude us here. $13, $19. The big change in this matchup is I don't board in Force of Vigor anymore. I don't think it's good. It's the creature. The matchup is very creature oriented, and you can just like ignore their artifacts now. I think. Obviously, GTA is a problem, but I also don't think they will go for GTA against us. Like every player I play against, I think the new heuristic there is to go for Cauldron, and that's because they get blown out if I have a Snuff Out and they try to equip GTA. So I think the counter to their counter line, right? Like I don't think it's safe for them to go. I get why they don't go for GTA anymore because they just if we had the Force of Vega or the Snuff Out, they probably just lose the game on the spot because they would have spent 4 mana and done nothing. And I think because of that, we can actually change our play too and just like not board and Force of Vigor because the threat of it alone is already scary, right? Like it's possible we just board in Force of Vigor like the one copy, just because we don't have enough cards otherwise, right? Can't keep this. That's a lot better. Speaking of the devil, right? Snuff Out. Really playing around the Bowmasters. I don't think it's necessary. Like DNT doesn't draw cards, so I'm kind of surprised. feel like there's an argument to be made. I just like snuff out the giver here because like I can't snuff out anything else later unless. Well, I guess there's no need to snuff out the giver here, right? Because it's still a 2-for-1 later. In case they try to like get aggressive with it. There's no urgency to snuff out now. And that's kind of annoying. Sure. Alright, the line here now is like we're gonna snuff out the giver into downtick the Stoneforge. Ooh, even better. I think now we can just like plus, right? We can just like snuff out the Stoneforge. This plays around Solitude too, which I like. Actually, bad sequence here. I should have plus immediately in case they have something, but they shouldn't. I think we're pretty ahead now. They could have like Skyclave, but even then, like we still have the insect token, and then we can like go Artisan or Green Sun next turn depending on what. We're definitely locking this up. They may waste us here because they have the vial, but we'll see. Oh, that's kind of annoying. We can actually kill the Thalia, so it actually doesn't stop us from green sunning to lock up their vial. And I think we're gonna do that. Hey Nico, how's it going? Might be a solitude to take care of our oof. Skyclave, sure, to take care of the grist. That actually makes sense. Thanks, Inigo. Appreciate it. This is a free bash. I think we don't. Well, it's not the end of the world. They mill a land. We do want to increase the density of creatures in the yard, so I'm gonna pre-fetch before the grist activation. We get a fetch. That's actually good. They most likely have to deal with one of the artisans. I don't think they're allowed to. I think what's gonna happen is they're gonna skyclave the grist because they're unable to deal with two artisans on the same turn. And if we untap with Artisan, they're in a lot of trouble. This is I like to make the joke. This is Dreadhorde at home. Or we have Dreadhorde at home. Like if you untap with it, it's probably game over. I think we play it safe here. And like hit the recruiter first. Get the more bodies on the board. This is kind of obscene. Touch the spirit realm. Interesting. What are they targeting? Probably the collector. Ooh, interesting. Maybe they have a swords in hand? That would explain why they would take two artisan. Yeah. Okay. It would. The other thing I could have done was just grist tick up to. That might have been a reasonable line as well, and not actually worry about killing the recruiter, which doesn't do anything. This line allowed us to ramp for whatever that's worth. Okay, now they might just be dead. Let's do it this way. We have. I don't think I'm playing around Solitude in this case. It's a lot of damage. Alright, that's maybe a decent note to win on, if anything. Maybe one more. I'm gonna use the restroom. I think the big takeaway from tonight is we might have to address the lands matchup. It seems quite problematic. I did beat it like last week 2 times, but granted, those pilots were not as experienced. They made at least one of them made kind of a small mistake. Something I can see is this go for the throat slot that I'm just kind of like have as a placeholder. I can see something like a opposition agent. Um, 5 lands. I don't think we can keep this, unfortunately. I think 5 mana is just like a million, Connor. My experience is it's very hard to green sun for a 4 drop against lands that will tie up your mana. The mirror be on the play and have stuff out in hand. That is the trick. Be on the play and have snuff out. That's how you win the mirror. And don't draw endurance or don't draw Allosaur Shepherd. That's the other thing, right? You gotta dodge drawing those cards. Along with obviously the national targets. Alright, this is probably the last match for tonight. We'll see how it goes. Okay, that's an easy one. If it's a removal spell here, I think we just green sun next turn, right? It's not a big deal. We still hold the cradle. I think it's the swords. Oh, it's that? Interesting. I don't even want to kill this, to be honest. I'm trying to think. I feel like you're supposed to just kill the dork, so I guess we'll do that. It's not like we're building towards. We don't have anything. Now I'm gonna regret that if he has a bowmaster soon and kills my Gris. That's gonna feel bad. You could just win the game also, like with something like that. I'm assuming they're playing halfling because it's relevant. Teeg or Thalia? I think it's Reclaimer here. I mean, not Reclaimer, Artisan. I don't know what halfling can ramp into, but I'm a little nervous about that. That's a card. I guess we block. If I plus here, that's 2, 3. I can take the Ren down. The problem with that is then you can take this. This is actually kind of annoying. Yeah, you can continue to pressure me with the plus. I feel like I have to do it now. Oh my god. Okay. Two. I think we're probably gonna lose this game. It doesn't feel like we're doing well. Maybe the meta has slowed down quite considerably, so that we need to adjust our. So we might have to adjust our lists. Mulligans don't help too. If everybody's playing slower deck and then we have built it to be like faster, then we might have to adjust the speed. Like our deck, the speed of Legacy, our deck is built for a faster metagame, and maybe we need to slow down. If they have endurance, which it feels like they probably do, then we just lose the oof for no reason. Not to mention we want to pitch the oof to the artisan too, right? On F6. It could be they're flooding on their side. Actually, before before I don't get the chance to, let's just pitch the collective. If they had removal, they would have used it. There's, there, it feels like our opponent has endurance on the other side, so I don't think we can attack. Um, this is kind of interesting now. Oops, cancel. Uh, ring is bad, I think, and the reason being is because you open yourself up to bowmasters when you don't need to, and I don't think ring is better than playing more natural orders. Sure. So it's just like major flood on the other side. What's going on? Hmm. I'm debating what to do here. It sort of feels like if our opponent had, yeah, actually, let's cash in the tokens. Let's not get greedy. And then just hold Reclaimer in case they top deck removal for the Fiend Artisan. Um, I think you can play like one Moloch and just like not even run the Taiga. Like we have like all haymakers that are one for one like Snuff Out. Assuming no answers on the other side, and I don't think so because they would have long, um, what's it called, like killed our artisan a long time ago. It's like taking over the game now, right? We have to main phase fetch here because I don't want to mill the land. Not to mention, there's an argument to be made. Not we don't want to mill it anyways. I think we don't want to like cost ourselves and mill the hoof like that because we have lethal through, right? If opponent had removed, they would have used it a long time ago. Like this is taking over the game. It's also possible I just played against some really good lands players, and maybe we just need to tweak the sideboard for the lands matchup, which I did say earlier that I enjoy, but it is a hard matchup, and we do have one, like free slot. This is kind of like a wild card, right? That we can maybe use to address that matchup. I think we want Needle for Night of the Reliquary. I think they had some that Planeswalker was pretty really good. I think. Collectively, we didn't do anything. We just cycled it, so I think that's how we want to board. Trophy. It's like a one of, right? Like I think I'd rather have opposition agent personally against lands. It's one more mana, just like hoses all the tutors, and it's like more broadly. Granted, worse against Delver, but maybe it's fine. She's found her way. No, I understand, but like I think I might just like play agent and have one like medium-ish card against tempo decks. I think this hand is like reasonable. I think the game plan is just to put a tracks onto the board. Probably want a land here. Cradle works. Bayou is okay as well. They're probably gonna kill our turn one play, so Cradle gets a lot worse. I think we want the Bayou actually, in case we need to snuff out like something relevant. Not to mention we're expecting the Arbor to die here. Turn one pass is like kind of interesting though. Oh, it could be a Bowmasters here. Punishing Fire. Okay, I didn't have that on my radar. I played the fetch here. I don't want to expose my body to wasteland. That's kind of annoying. I think now we can't expose the Woodfield Hills and fetch Arbor. So what we're gonna do is just try to hit land drops and then get to 5 lands and then natural order there. Our hand is like super reactive now. Jesus. Maybe I was actually that was a mistake. I'm supposed to Pithing Needle Wasteland. That is the mistake. Right. Otherwise, I would have been one step closer. I probably could have. Sure. That's actually good for us, ironically enough. We want we. That's actually good for us, and it's because we get the lands back into our deck. Do we care here? I think the line now is we're gonna take the 3, play it safe. Um, we're gonna name Wasteland here. Sure. Oops, I didn't need to do that. Oh, that was a mistake. I'm thinking of like double casting Snuff Out. I only need one. The good thing is I'm kind of starting to craft the game plan for game three based on what I've seen here, and I think I know what I need to do now. Like I think we can preemptively name Wasteland, and if they're gonna play this game, ugh, okay, that's a thing. I think I want to fetch here. Arbor works, I guess. Although worse. If I play Arbor and Noble Hierarch, they're most likely going to P-fire one of them and then down take the other. So I think I have to hold it, as awkward as that is. Actually, they can do P-fire both, right? Because they untap with their... Well, no, that's not true. I probably got no... Sure. That's kind of awkward. We're gonna play the Hierarch now as a distraction. The problem is the the Grizz can kill the Atraxa. I kind of wish the Liberator would just pop the Liberator would just pop the needle, but Wasteland there, that's kind of awkward. No blocks. We're not gonna win otherwise. Actually, that was bad. They have a Punishing Fire in hand. Oops. Yeah. We died to a bunch of things. I think. How do I want to play against it? I feel. Didn't Mark play against something like this earlier? Hmm. Snuff outs feel real bad against our opponent. I don't know if they boarded out their creatures or whatnot, but that was kind of awkward. Endurance. Just slow, to be honest. I think we just run it back. Like, it's possible we just drew kind of poorly. I could, yeah. It's possible we just ran kind of cold there. It's got lands and spells. Oh, why? Um, do we see Plow those games? I feel like they probably have it, but I could be wrong. I think we have to play it safe. Also, they waste the Dryad Art, we just lose, right? Hopefully they don't have a Plow here. That's would be bad. They do. And if they have a Wasteland, we are in a lot of trouble. Oh, thank goodness. Alright, we gotta like vomit our hand right now. That helps too. What do we do here? Do we get a... we get a green... what's it called? A Fiend Artisan here. If they waste us, we can't get the grist either way, but we still have the Fiend Artisan on board. Um, the Fiend Artisan though loses, not loses, but like is vulnerable to removal. Sure. Wrong enough. Now we have to name the Liberator. So Loggy SD here has built their deck to not be weak to Bowmasters. Like if they eat a draw card here, it just pings one. So actually, the juke could be now if people are playing around Bowmasters, you just cut it from your deck, right? I can see that. It's actually kind of why I lean towards only 2 copies right now too. I think there's no world where we don't get Cradle here. Even if that, gets them to kill the Artisan. They probably have removal, but I think we want the Cradle regardless. They don't have removal? unfortunately, it can only be a 2-2 at best. Sure. I drew the snuff out right now, which is awkward. I think we're gonna have the bog pretty soon. We care about that card. Hey Dukes, how's it going? Just pass. Like I probably didn't sequence that correctly. Didn't feel right. I was like tunnel visioning myself into the snuff out, and then I just I preemptively tapped and it shouldn't. Just bad. All around bad play. Yeah, like something relevant, more relevant. I don't really want to kill it. I don't think I care about it. The only annoying thing about the trap breaker is it shuts out the needle, but I think what I could do is start bashing with one reclaimer now with high arcs. Like that's actually how we generate some of our card advantage. We just like ignore some of the irrelevant creatures. Oh, okay. Looks like a Gris, Mariah. It's crazy that they had the trap breaker the times we had the needle. Oh, they're gonna endurance us? Okay, sure. I think here we want to kill the endurance and start to pressure their life total. The other card we can get right now is like a lair. That's like a pretty fast clock. I kind of like that actually. Like they're not pressuring us at all. So I think I'm just gonna like get a lair here and start to apply pressure. And if they want to kill our lair, we can protect it with a reclaimer. So this is good, right? That we blank the removal. Reclaimer's so broken. Endurance again? Sure. The funny thing is like they put the layer back into the deck, right? So we can do it again. Don't care. That we care about. If we just draw a natural or we just win two. Why can't I just draw something relevant? I mean, we've like have not drawn anything. The problem is like this stops the needle, right? Like we can kill it, but god dang it. Four, 3, 4. All right. I have a line. Depending on what our opponent does here. I can legend rule the guy's cradle. Oops, that was a mistake. Now I have to do it this way. I goofed. I screwed up though. Like now I only have one cradle left in my deck as a result. My silly mistake might have cost me a cradle though. I needed to pitch the other land first, which I did, and then get a useless land, like a fetch, and then fetch that for the cradle. I'm on F6. No blocks. They're gonna pop, kill the needle, then pop the mince. At least no draw, which is huge. I feel like the line here is send 3 of them to mince. If it's an endurance, it's like pretty bad for us. That plays through removal, which I like. Probably not this. Actually, we need to get that off the board, just in case. Sure. We're okay losing the one. Look, we need to get that thing off the board. Sure. Our opponent. What is going on? Why did they attack? There's no way there's a sweeper. It's 4 colors? Sure. Oh, I see. They're gonna take down. They have to kill the artisan. They're punishing fire. If it's another endurance, jeez. I think we got this now. This is the fastest ticked up grist in a while. They can't draw off library anymore, right? Like, it's just... I think it's... We might close out right now. Good game, though. Something's going on. Oh my god. Okay. I did not expect that, but okay. It's a forced block here. The line is pretty straightforward here for me. They have to have something crazy, I think, to win. We're gonna take 4. That's okay. Close, Dukes. Close. Sure. Wait a minute. What? Sure. Well, that's kind of... What did they put? Knight? Coming down to the end. There it is. About time. All right, we'll call it a night. That was a very good game. All right, I think the deck may need something against like the lands archetype, but aside from that, I feel okay about the deck. Really good match to finish the night there. Thank you, Dukes. I appreciate that. Who should I raid right now? I guess I will raid PT Bench again. Yeah, no problem. Anytime.